I have a question for you. You can probably answer. How long have you been driving for? Doesn't matter whether it's had a driving license or you drive a car. Me, 1997. I passed. I think. Yeah, I was about 18, 19, something like that. So about 1997. And one thing was very clear. Fuel was quite affordable. Yeah, we had 4 star. You remember that 4 star petrol? And I paid 64p a litre. I thought that was great. And many of you who watch the channel can probably remember fuel being, well, considerably less, probably 2 and 6, some of you. The question is, you know, do you agree that fuel right now is too expensive? If you do, subscribe to the channel. You know, there's plenty of videos that come out about this all the time, and we need to have that conversation. Now, picture the scene. You know, you've got this guy here. It goes up to the petrol station, fills up, looks like he's about to pay by card, but he's probably seen what he's paid per litre and thought, what the hell's going on? Now, we have this year on, year out with budgets, autumn statements and everything else, don't we? What are we going to pay next? And I think the fuel duty is a very toxic thing to even suggest meddling with. It's a definite election loser. Unless you talk about everything else, that's for sure. Now, pressure needs applying on government to keep these things in order and to keep them in check. Now, I'm sure you've all heard of Howard Cox, who's the Reform candidate for the Mayor of London. Next year, there will be the elections, and hopefully Sadiq Khan will be given the boot. There is a video on the channel which you can go and watch, where I address some of your comments on that as well. And let me know what you think in the comments if he stands a chance. Now, before we get into the Mayor of London situation, where he is at the moment, he ran Fair Fuel UK. And Fair Fuel UK has been going for a great number of years, and its sole purpose is to keep fuel as cheap as humanly possible by campaigning, raising awareness, and putting pressure on government. Now, there's a statement here on the Fair Fuel UK website. A great result in the autumn statement, thanks almost entirely to Fair Fuel UK supporters, pushing for a 13th consecutive freeze, plus those fuel tax falls in 2011 and 22, totaling 6p a litre. Chancellor Jeremy Hunt ignored the Office of Budgetary Responsibility's planned 23% rise in fuel duty again. He listened to Fair Fuel UK and supporting MPs and keeps fuel duty at the current level, 52.95 pence per litre. But the March budget still means that the fuel duty could raise again. Yes, it could raise again, Howard. Absolutely right. But we have this same conversation year in, year out. 52 pence a litre, I'm assuming, is for petrol, and diesel is slightly more. That is, I think, the national average. But if we have a look around our own towns, our own villages, there's a hell of a variation everywhere. And we all know the old trick where we passed on that 5p cut in the fuel duty. What all the petrol stations did was put their price up by 5p, only to pull it back down again when they were told to. Pretty dirty trick, really, don't you think? Yeah, and it goes on all of the time. Now, where Howard and where Fair Fuel UK have put pressure on everything, one of the things that he's championed very much is Pump Watch. And Pump Watch is a system by which all of the fuel retailers have to publish their prices. So it encourages a bit of healthy competition. The theory being it brings everything down. Now, this has been taken on, and this has been, manoeuvred around by government. And, they've tried to get something like this off the ground. But one thing that's been identified as a result is greed, basic greed on all the forecourts. And the Competition and Market Authority got involved and started investigating. They weren't very happy with what they found. Just in case anybody needs to know, this is straight off the About Us page of the Competition and Market Authority. We help people, businesses, and the UK economy by promoting competitive markets and tackling unfair behaviour. Now, it's the unfair behaviour thing that is really the teller, you know, where they're profiteering and sticking the prices up when they really shouldn't be at our expense. They've dealt with food as well. They're going to be dealing with food, but for the benefit of this video, it's fuel. So what's been happening over the last couple of days? Well, there's been a bit of a marked decrease in the price of fuel at the forecourts, according to the media. Now, if you know different, get in touch, let me know with your particular area. But I want to show you this right now, which is a bit of text taken from the media. I'll put this full screen so you can see it. And then I'll go over what it says. Fuel retailer greed has proven to be a common theme over the last couple of years, as time after time they implement rocket and feather pricing systems to increase and decrease the cost of fuel. When the price of oil increases, they will almost instantly pass on costs to the motorists and then slowly decrease them again over a period of months to what is deemed to be a fair, level way after the price of oil has dropped. Regit, RAC, and the AA and others have all been highlighting this greed over the last 18 months, and this has led to the Competition and Market Authority taking a much keener interest in the pricing practices they're adopting. Legislation that comes into force next year will give the Competition and Market Authority increased powers to gather data and report on unjustified price rises and the threat of additional regulation. On top of this, making fuel retailers panic. So much so that when the CMA highlighted on the 8th of November that the gap between pump prices and the wholesale costs was significantly above the long-term average, retailers collectively managed to find 3.75p per litre that could be taken off the price. It's amazing what happens when the watchdog gives the fuel trade a good prod, it was said. Isn't it just? They breathe down your neck, and then, lo and behold, a load of money disappears. Now, this is a very volatile situation, and it's very much governed by what's going on in the Middle East at the moment. At least, you know, that's how they justify it all. And it sends the prices up and down like there's no tomorrow. Now, what I always like to do when I do one of these videos is ask you, what's the fuel price like in your area? It's always good because you're scattered all over the country at the end of the day, aren't you? And it's great for you to get in touch and let us know so we can get a good cross-section of what's going on everywhere. I do fuel videos semi-regularly when there's a bit of news to report, which really is going to affect your pocket and you're going to need to know about. And if you want to see one of those other videos, then have a click around here somewhere where a box would have just popped up, and that'll take you off to another one. In the meantime, thank you very much. I look forward to talking to you again soon.